Okay, we're here at the Turning Point Faith event, and I am here today with Krissy Miles. Krissy, I am so excited to sit down and talk to you. We're going to talk about some of the things that Krissy's working on. She and her husband run the Nfluence Network, and she also has some exciting projects that she's working on. So I'm going to turn it over to Krissy. Krissy, tell us about all the things.
Yeah, all the things. That's a good question, Misty. We do have all the things. One of the things that we do at the Nfluence Network is, we really believe in influencing the world with the gospel. And so we do that through a variety of different initiatives. We call ourselves like a mutual fund of ministries. One of the main ministries we actually launched this year is called the American Pastor Project. You can visit it at americanpastorproject.org. And it's a place where pastors can go and sign a high-level doctrinal statement about, refusing to get woke, essentially, in their church, which is so important. So this is really helpful not only for pastors, but it's also helpful for parishioners, people that attend a church, to say, hey, I wonder if my pastor has signed this statement. And really it's just about uplifting and holding to primary doctrines. There are a lot of issues right now in, I think, our country that lend itself to making sure that all Christians are on the same page with primary doctrine, but not allowing our secondary doctrine to, really divide us any longer. We need a unified front to fight the things that are happening in our country, and so that is something that this project is essentially trying to do, is to unify people along those lines. So you can visit americanpastorproject.org to get more information about that. And the cool thing is, we are announcing this weekend a partnership with Turning Point Faith, TP Faith, and we are going to basically be working with the American Pastor Project at TP USA Faith with the Nfluence Network. So a really cool partnership with all three of those. We'll call them ministries, and we are announcing that this weekend. So we're excited about just the future and really getting pastors across the country connected on issues that are related to church and politics. Let's be honest, all of our politics flows from our faith, and sometimes people think that these issues are political issues. Christians don't want to talk about them, but truly these are biblical issues. We talk about abortion, we talk about the trans gender movement. These are really issues of faith, and they are a byproduct of people's lack of faith and lack of understanding of biblical worldview. And so it's important that people really understand, what does the Bible say about these things, and then how do I allow the Bible to inform my politics. So that's part of the thing that we're doing there.
Yeah, I love what my pastor says. So my pastor says, I don't care if Tucker Carlson or if Don Lemon gets fired, because it's not the politics of it. He said, but if the Bible says something, the Bible says something about marriage, it says something about gay and all of these different issues, that it's not necessarily political, it's biblical. And if it's biblical, we have to stand for it. So I really appreciate you and your husband, Lucas, who is a pastor. You pastor a church in Indiana, and then he's written several books. We're going to talk to Lucas later in the day, but I can't think of a better person than y'all to partner with Turning Point for what's next. Amen. But that's not the only thing you're doing. So you've got some interesting things that the Lord is guiding and directing you with as well. So let's talk about that a little bit. You want to share about that?
Absolutely, yeah. So a few years ago, probably about 10 years ago now, Lucas and I got connected with Keith and Mary Hudson. You may not know the name, but Keith and Mary are the parents of Katy Perry. Very strong believers, strong evangelistic ministry and prophetic ministry, really. And we got to know them, and Mary and I really started working on conferences that she had launched on the Hawaiian Islands years ago called Arise Women's Conferences, and we're going to be continuing on that ministry. So there's some changes that are kind of taking place there, but Arise Women's Conferences is really about helping women rise up into the calling that they have. And what we do is we work with women who have suffered from either domestic violence issues or sex trafficking, and we kind of go into some of these places and we invite them to participate in a weekend life transformational conference. We have sponsors with Johnny Was and Cosbar and some places like that, where they get a total transformation, both spirit, soul, and body. We call these ladies our diamond girls, because they're through the pressure of life, God really changes them from the inside out and produces something very beautiful out of their lives. So we have so many testimonies from our diamond girls through the Arise Women's Conferences, and we're going to be launching more of those, not only on the Hawaiian Islands and Southern California, but also throughout the United States.
That's really exciting, and what an incredible ministry to take the broken and to turn them into something beautiful, and to let them know that they have worth and value because of their identity in Christ, and to pamper them and to make them feel better. So that's just so amazing. I love that you are doing that. So where can people get connected with you? Where would you like me to send people? Tell me how they can best get in touch with you and the work that you're doing.
Yeah, so if you want to take a look at some of our larger ministry mission initiatives, you can go to influencenetwork.com, or you can visit me personally at KrissyMiles.com, and we can connect there.
Great. Thank you so much, Krissy. So glad that you're here with us today.
Likewise. Thanks, Ms.
Thanks.